There we go. So again, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the San Diego County Regional Airport Authority's presentation. Oops, I should probably put on my video there. To our presentation on the Airport Concession Disadvantaged Business Enterprise Program, or the ACDBE program. My name is Craig Ruiz, and I'm the manager of the small business development for the airport. So I'm sure, as most of you are aware, the Airport Authority is in the midst of a major development project here, the construction of the Terminal 1, or T1 project for short. This is a nearly $3.5 billion project that will result in not only a state-of-the-art new T1 building, but will also include a 5,000 space new parking structure in front of Terminal 1, new access roadways to the airport, and a new administration building for the Airport Authority. The small business team is responsible for implementing the ACDBE program, and this program covers concessions here at the airport. The purpose of the ACDBE program is to ensure that businesses or small businesses or disadvantaged businesses have an equal opportunity to receive and participate in DOT-assisted contracts. This is both a federal requirement from the FAA for receiving money to pay for part of this project, and it's also a policy of our airport board of directors. Looking at the registration, I noticed not everybody is a concessionaire and has an interest in concession businesses. So we will also touch on the DBE program, the Disadvantaged Business Enterprise Program. That is for non-concession related businesses that are interested in the construction project. We have what's known as the ARRIVE team, and they are a joint venture that is doing construction of the T1 and the roadway project. And if you are interested in learning more about those projects, you can go to our website at san.org, and at the top you'll see a button for T1 or Terminal 1, and just click on that, and that'll give you information on the ARRIVE team and the projects, and you can get more information as they release bids for work there. And at the end of this presentation, you'll have the contact information for the three of us today, and you can also always reach out to us as well. One of the next milestones in the T1 project will be the release of a request for proposals for concessionaires at the new T1 project. I'm sure some of you are here today because you might be interested in responding to become a concessionaire at the airport, and some of you might be interested in becoming part of a joint venture team, and you want to become an ACDBE certified business. So today, my colleagues, Maria Quiros and Christine Pham, will explain the ACDBE program and the process for becoming a certified business. And with that, I will now turn it over to Maria.
Thank you, Craig. Good morning, everyone. My name is Maria Quiros, and I'm one of the program managers at the airport, and I oversee the certification part, as well as I administer the bonding and finance program at the airport.
Good morning, all. My name is Christine Pham. I'm also one of the program managers with our small business development team. And one of my primary areas of oversight is the ACDBE program that you're going to hear all about today. So let's jump right into the ACDBE program. That stands for Airport Concession Disadvantaged Business Enterprise. And it is a federal program established in accordance with the regulations of U.S. Department of Transportation, or DOT, 49 Code of Federal Regulations, CFR Part 23. The Airport Authority is a primary airport that receives federal funds authorized for airport development and generates more than $200,000 in revenues. And as such, we are mandated to have an ACDBE program. And it is our policy to ensure that ACDBEs have an equal opportunity to receive and participate in concession opportunities to create a level playing field and remove barriers for ACDBEs. The authority has a race-neutral ACDBE program and utilizes various race-neutral measures to foster ACDBE participation. We seek for qualified ACDBEs through outreach events, community events and meetings, expos. You'll see us at conferences and other ways. will inform ACDBEs and qualified ACDBEs and firms regarding upcoming concession opportunities, work with the prime concession operators, and encourage everyone to submit proposals when it is appropriate for the ACB side or even prime operators. We provide technical assistance to ACDBEs in overcoming limitations, such as those that have the inability to obtain bonding or financing. And we will teach about the availability of ACDBEs for upcoming concession opportunities. And historically, we've seen around the 20% or more level of AC participation in the contracts, primarily through direct contracts, such as joint ventures and subleases. Part 23, Code of Federal Regulations, defines what an airport concession is. So one, you are a for-profit business on our airport property and campus where you sell goods and services to the public under an agreement with either the airport, concessionaire, owner of, or lessee of a terminal, or even another business. Or two, you conduct one or more activities that takes place at the airport, but you may not necessarily have a storefront or business location at the airport. Some examples would be, for instance, management contracts or web-based electronic businesses or services. The majority are more familiar with concessions in the terminals, like in food and beverage, retail, passenger services. However, the airport also has a rental car center operated by various rental car operators known as rental car concessions or RACs. And we also have a third-party operator that helps the RACs by the name of Conrac Solutions. And we generate the ACDBE opportunities through the use of vendors that help with the operations of the rental car center and help the rental car companies and Conrac generate revenue. So you'll be able to get the opportunity through the various services. The list goes on from suppliers, auto repair, body shops, maintenance type companies, plumbing. And here's a list that shows you from our ACDBE methodology, all the types of goods and services that we expect to provide for car rental sales and to operate our rental car center. We collaborate and work together with Conrac Solutions and our rental car operator partners in identifying these type of opportunities. And on an annual basis, we do host an ACDBE supplier diversity opportunity awareness event so that we can connect Conrac Solutions and the rental car operators to educate them on these type of opportunities and to get certified as ACDBEs to obtain these type of contracts and see where they may fit. The methodology can be found on our small business development landing page, as you see down below there. You just go to san.org/small business and then click on the DBACB link, and you'll be able to see our ACDBE goal methodology that has our goals and the tables and the projections for the next 3 years of availability for ACDBE. Moving over to the non-concession side of the house, as Craig had mentioned, we have our disadvantaged business enterprise known as DBE program, which involves 3 major Department of Transportation operating administrations. They are the Federal Highway Administration, FHA, the Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, and the Federal Transit Administration, FTA. The program is carried out by state and local transportation agencies under the rules and guidelines in Code of Federal Regulations, Title 49, Part 26, whereas ACDBE earlier is under Part 23. All recipients of federal funds that are awarded at least $250,000 or more grant dollars for projects to primes are mandated to have the DB program. And it is the policy of the authority to ensure that disadvantaged business enterprises have an equal opportunity to participate in DOT assisted contracts. Therefore, we promote and encourage prime respondents of the federal funded projects to look for DBEs to join their team, partner up, and encourage all the subs and partners to get certified in all the necessary categories to count towards goals that we may have for either small business, local business, veteran small business, and of course, the DBE goals. And so every 3 years for both the ACB and DB side, we do establish the availability of ready, willing, and able DBEs and ACBs for the award of federally funded contracts for construction and for concessions. And we encourage all respondents to seek for DBs and ACBs to work on helping all the subs to get certified by the time that they do operate. The California Unified Certification Program, so that's also known as CUCP, is charged with the responsibility of certifying firms and compiling the database of certified ACDBEs and DBEs for US DOT grantees in California. And this is pursuant to federal regulations. The CUCP is a one-stop shop certification procedure that eliminates the need for all ACDBEs and DBEs and applicants to obtain certifications from multiple agencies within the state. So for example, if you get certified with our agency, San Diego County Regional Airport Authority, you don't need to get certified with other airports and all the other certifying agencies in California. It's just one time. So we make that streamlined and easy on your end. This helps maximize resources and maximizes the amount of technical assistance and processing the paperwork, and we will no longer need to duplicate any type of work. And this helps definitely all the certifying and non-certifying agencies in California. All the certifying agencies follow the same procedures as defined in the federal regulations, as well as all our certification decisions. The CUCP directory has all the certified DBEs and ACDBEs listed and is accessible through the website california.ucp.dbesystem.com. And then for your reference, here's the full roster of all the current certifiers for ACDBE and or DB certification. And you'll notice from Northern California all the way down to Southern California. San Diego is the furthest south, but we do have a combination of currently 10 certifying agencies, and this list could change over time if we have more to join on board. The DBE and ACDBE criteria have some similarities and differences. So the similarities fall in the areas of being a for-profit business interested in contract work with a recipient of one of the operating administrations, and 50% or more must be owned and controlled by a socially and economically disadvantaged individual or individuals, and the personal net worth or P&W can be no more than 1.32 million. The disadvantaged owners must be either a US citizen or lawfully admitted permanent US resident, and the firm must be within the SBA side standards. The DBE side standards of gross receipts over the last 5 years must not exceed 28.48 million, and this is only applicable to FTA and FHWA assisted contracts. And the small business side standards for ACDBEs is no more than 56.42 million. Business size standards may vary by industry according to the North American Industry Classification System, also known as NICS. And these codes are all going to be defined by the SBA on their website and may be updated accordingly. DBE firms participating in FAA assisted projects must meet the size standards appropriate to the type of work based solely on the applicable NICS code size standards for their work. Moving on to interstate ACDBE or DB certification, a firm may apply for a certification in another state that they wish to do business in, but they must be certified in their home state first before applying in another state. They would reach out to the state they wish to apply interstate with, and the home state then provides the other state with the on-site report, which is requested by the state agencies. And the firms are responsible for providing the out-of-state agency with all the other documents from the beginning of time when they got certified all the way to current time. So if you've been certified for 5-10 years, you would need to look back at all those documentations from the beginning through present time. There are 2 processes for interstate certifications per federal regulations. Number 1, the option would be for the state B, its own discretion to accept state A certification and certify a firm with their procedures. And then the second process is state B may choose to ask the firm to provide all the certification documentation, as I mentioned earlier, from the beginning, and fill out a new application. I will now hand it off to Maria.
Thank you, Christine. So the rest of the presentation will be focused on process and timelines. Now it's time to learn how to prepare your certification documents. I always like to suggest firms to first print out the application and the personal net worth. This is the best way of completing your application and avoiding mistakes or delays. To access the application and the PMW, please go to our small business website, click on the DBE ACDBE tab, and scroll down to the bottom and click on the application and PMW. This is where we house them. Part of the application is a checklist, which is the last page of the application, page 15. I suggest that you take this list and gather every single document one by one to make sure you have a complete submission. If something doesn't apply to you, make a note so you can explain on your letterhead why this document doesn't apply. Remember, if it's on the checklist, you will need to upload it and explain, do an explanation, and then upload it to the portal. For example, if you are the only, on this checklist, there is a request for a list of employees. So if you are the only employee, then what you need to do is on your letterhead, explain that you are the only employee at this time. And then you're gonna date it and sign it. Please pay attention to the additional documents required if you are a corporation or an LLC. What are NAICS codes? NAICS codes describe your primary type of work that you perform. Every business has a NAICS code. To look up your NAICS codes, go to the United States Census website listed on the slide, where you can search by keywords that best describe what you do. You will need to know your specific NAICS codes to complete your application. These are a few common errors that will delay the process of your application or cause your application to be returned incomplete. Don't leave any blank spaces on your application. If something doesn't apply, just simply put NA. Very important that you have your correct NAICS codes. Make sure your tax returns are signed. If you file electronically, make sure that you provide us your e-file, and that is part of that, make it part of your taxes. And don't forget, to make sure to sign and date and notarize your application in your PMW. Once you have completed the application in your PMW and have gathered all your supporting documents from the checklist, you are now ready to submit your application to the San Diego certifying portal if you are participating on an upcoming opportunity at the airport. Click on Apply for New/Renew certifications. First, let's check if you already have an existing account. If you don't already have an existing account, you will need to create a new account. Now it's time to start your submission and uploading your documents into the B2G portal. If there is no upcoming opportunities at the airport, but you still want to get certified, please go to the CUCP portal and submit your application to the CUCP. Once you submit your application, the certifying agency will review it for completeness. If your application is incomplete, it will be returned with a list of missing items. The certifying agency has, if the certifying agency has any questions, we will communicate with you through the portal by either email or by the Q&A. Make sure to use the same certification record. Do not create new records. That's one of the issues that we have, is that when we are looking through these applications and if you have a question, you come back to us and you're creating new records. So that's only creating duplications. All certification agencies have 90 days into which to complete your certification process. Once the application is 100% complete. So once we accept it, then that's when the clock starts ticking, and that's where the 90 days start counting. The next step, once all documents are reviewed and accepted, is to schedule an on-site, either in person or virtual. Sometimes we will also visit a job site. All owners and officers must be part of the on-site. We may require you to provide us additional documents on the on-sites, such as payroll or bank statements. The certifying agency will make the recommendation after reviewing all your documents and performing the on-site to either approve or deny. You will receive a letter by email with a decision of approval or denied. If you are approved, your firm will be registered to the CUCP database. The database is accessible to the public and is where most prime concessionaires can search for ACDBE partners, but also contractors can look for DBE subcontractors to help them participate in their projects. If denied, your firm will be registered to the DOT database. Here you will be able to find where the database is where you'll find all the denials, appeals, and decertifications for those firms that get denied. Any firm that is denied or decertified, they will have 90 days to appeal to the agency's decision to the DOT. So your appeals have to be done through the DOT, and they will go ahead and process the. But remember, you only have 90 days. Now that you are certified, you must maintain your certification by providing an annual update declaration form, also known as an AU, and a yearly signed tax returns for the first 4 years. On the annual update declaration form, you must indicate any changes such as change of ownership or personal net worth, or even if you sell the company. You must also notify your certified agency if you move or you change your phone number or any other changes. On the 5th year renewal, the process is very similar to a new submission, but you only have to do this every 5 years. Here is an example of the AU form. Please make sure not to use this form if you are certified in another state. And the reason we tell you not to use it is because on the top left corner, it has our agency information. And another state might have a different type of form. Make sure the form is completely filled out, including the 5-year gross receipts. If you've only been in business for 2 years, enter 0 in the other 3 years. And don't forget to sign and date the form. And the form must be signed by the owner or a corporate officer. We wanted to share a few misconceptions, like, do you have to be operating at the airport before getting certified? No. You can apply for ACDBE certification at any time, as long as you qualify. Or, can I be employed full-time and be certified? Yes, as long as you can prove that you have enough time to dedicate to your company. These are a few tips after certification. Stay connected by attending events, pre-bids, and conferences. Familiarize yourself with our small business website to learn more about our small business programs. And don't forget, if you are looking for other certified firms, go to the CUCP or the FAA ACDBE directory database. Stay connected with us at the San Diego Airport. Please register in our vendor portal, Planet Bids, to be notified of upcoming opportunities, events, training, and education. We come to the end of our presentation, and here is our contact information as well as a few helpful websites. And now we'll open it up for any Q&A questions.
All right, thank you, Maria. We've gotten about 7 questions so far, but if you have any questions, feel free to put them into the Q&A. So I guess the first question is about the rental car. What I'm inferring from this question, Christine, as we talk about the airport's goal for participation, can you talk a little bit about that and maybe the difference between when we talk about race neutral or race conscious and how that works? Or Maria, either one?
Yes, so the airport authority, so as I mentioned, we have a 100% race neutral ACDBE program and 100% race neutral DBE program. So we do not have race conscious goals. The differences between the two would be for race conscious, that would mean that we have specific goals set for the concession contract. So if we have a food and beverage contract and it's race conscious, we would have an availability and would say there is a mandatory race conscious goal of 10%. This is just an example out there. And so it's mandatory for the respondents to seek for that specific percentage of participation, which with whatever arrangement necessary that they want to go with. Whereas race neutral, we have an overall ACDBE goal, an overall DBE goal, and that goal is established every 3 years. So it's a triennial overall goal. We are going over the analysis right now to revamp both goals, but from our analysis, what we've seen so far is we're looking at 20% for ACDBE participation with the upcoming contracts, especially with all the large contracts through the next couple of years with the new Terminal 1, UT1 that will be awarded very shortly. And with our DBE goal methodology, we are currently undergoing the analysis, and we'll have that publicize and let the public be able to comment on that and get the finalization from FAA. So hopefully that answers the question.
All right, great. And once that is available, it will be on our website, the SAN.org and go to the small business page. The next two questions are kind of related. May I have a recording of this? And yes, we will be posting this to our website shortly, correct? And the slides from this presentation will be there as well, correct? Okay, so yes, you can get the recording on SAN.org small business, and the slides as well. We'll hopefully have them up in the next day or so.
Yeah, and we can definitely take a look at the list of all the registrants from Zoom, and we can definitely send out the recording and the PowerPoint links on there too. So we'll have that method to send it to you, and we will post it on our SBDE landing page at san.org/small business. So just give us a little bit time, a day or two to upload that so that you'll be able to reference that in the future.
Okay. The next question is about car rentals, and is there an open opportunity currently for car rentals at the airport?
The car rental company operators and Conrac Solutions, you would need to contact them to see if they see any open contracts, because they have regular maintenance contracts, but sometimes there's a new need, or even if they're trying to do like a renovation or build out on their facilities in the rent-a-car center. So in meeting with our partners, they do try to find the availability and all those opportunities for firms if they're new ones, and then trying to find more vendors to fill if they're able to set aside some of that work for maintenance, body shops, and all that. So we recommend that you reach out to them. You can shoot an email to our small business development email address, and we can give you the contacts of the rent-a-car company operators and Conrac Solutions for you to reach out. But we do also encourage you to attend our future supplier diversity opportunity awareness event with the rent-a-car operators and Conrac, so that you can have that face-to-face and be able to find out about all those current opportunities. So typically we have that in the spring. So keep your ears and eyes open. And if you're registered in our Planet Bids portal, you will receive an email notification, or you can make sure that you're on our email list too.
Okay, great. The next question's about the RFP for concessions and the registration process and how that impacts each other. So the first question is, when will the RFP be released for airport concessions? And I'll take that. We don't have an exact date yet. We have several people here at the authority working on getting that document complete and released. The goal is to have it out before the end of the year. Hopefully, I think we're shooting for the next 30 days to get that released, and then there will be that 90-day period. So the question to you, Christine, and or probably maybe Maria, so if it takes 90 days for the ACDBE certification, how does this impact their ability to participate in the RFP process?
So what we're doing is, so we've had so many outreach events focused on the concessionaires. So I've met a lot of people that are interested. So what I'm asking them to do is go ahead and apply now. And they obviously if they're looking to partner with one of our primes or be part of this T1 concessionaire packages, we escalate it to the top. So I make sure that they communicate with me and let me know that this is what they're thinking of doing, what their plans are, and that's how we're handling that.
Okay, so they don't have to be certified to submit. We encourage you to submit soon. And once the RFP process closes, we will take several months to review all those proposals and make our recommendation, and we'll have to go back to the Airport Authority Board of Directors for approval of that. So there's a much longer period than the 90 days that would allow them to become certified, correct?
Technically, they should be certified at the time of closing the solicitation.
Okay, so we will do our best to meet that.
So that's why we encourage everybody to do it now, sooner than later, so that way we have enough time to process everybody.
I just wanted to add on to this question and answer for this topic. So per federal regulation CFR 2681C, to receive credit towards ACDBE or DB credit, the federal regulations state that the firm either must be certified before the due date of the bids or proposal, or it also says offers on the prime contract, prime concessionaire agreement. So it leaves it open to both, but we do encourage you to do it earlier on and not wait till after the fact. And that can give you the competitive edge to have that certification for opportunities elsewhere with other airports and agencies. So keep that in mind.
Okay, thank you for that clarification. So sooner is better, I think is the short answer. The next question is about the CUCP platform. And the question is that platform also used to certified women-owned business enterprises, SBE, Hub Zone, things like that?
No, so that CUCP database is only for the disadvantaged business enterprise or the airport concession. So if you're certified as a small or minority or woman-owned, it would be through another portal.
Okay. All right. The next question. My firm does tech outsourcing, and we have production centers in MX and MO, Mexico and Missouri. I don't know what that is. Our headquarters are in LA. Are we able to supply? I ask because I have heard GIV bids request all resources be based in the USA. My firm. So they outsource some of the tech in foreign countries, Mexico, and I'm not sure what MO is. So how does that impact made in USA implications? Is that something we look at?
I'm not sure of how that would work since the product is being built in Mexico, but they have headquarters in
LA.
Yeah, I don't know if it would complicate the certification process. I would have to take a look at it. So I would ask that whoever is asking that question to please contact me directly, and I will do some more searching and find out and get you the right information. Okay,
great. All right. Once an application is submitted, how long does it normally take to review and approve or deny? So I believe, as you said, once it's complete, it's typically 90 days.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. All right. Next, if we have a new business, can we become a member for concessions? And do we input this information when asked about taxes or just put down do not apply? Not sure. Try that again.
Not sure what the question is. I need a little bit more clarification. So if they're a small business, can they apply for for their ACDBE? Yes, as long as they meet the requirements.
I think they're also asking in a way, without asking it, how long do they have to be in business before they can also enter the information? So if they just opened shop 6 months ago, would they be able to apply because it requires tax submission from the applicants?
Okay, that question was from Letitia Field. So if we didn't get it, if you want to enter a new question, if you need more clarification on that. Christine, they're asking, what does CONRAC stand for?
So with CONRAC, that would be consolidated. Well, this is my educated guess, but Consolidated Rental Car Center.
And they are the group that manages the center itself. So all the rental car agencies are part of CONRAC and they manage that facility, correct?
Correct. So the third party operator, and their full name is CONRAC in all caps, and then Solutions. But you'll hear that term just CONRAC in general. But that would be it. Consolidated Rental Car Center.
Okay. The next question is about becoming a coffee supplier. And is there an opportunity open for coffee? So as I read this question, I'm not clear if this question is asking if there's opportunities in the new T1, which there are specifically areas called out for coffee. That is a big component of the airport concessions plan. So in that sense, yes, but they've talked about supplying coffee with the airports, and they've been told that they already have a coffee supplier. So I don't know if you're looking to supply coffee to the airport authority itself, or if you're looking to supply coffee as a vendor in the concession. So if they want to become a vendor to the airport authority, they would go to Planet Bids and list that as a service, correct? And as if we're looking for that service, we would look there for future opportunities. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you are correct.
So Laura, I hope that answered your question. If not, please either reach out to us or put it here in the question and answer. Okay, the next one has to do with rental cars. My company is an independent car rental, Red and Blue Car Rental Incorporated. They're looking for a concession and terminal, not as a supplier for a major car rental. Is there an opportunity for my company?
We can put you in touch with our asset managers and team that oversee the concession, or not concession, but the agreements for the rental car company. So we can see if there is a space for you or not.
Okay.
So reach out to our team and email us, and we will put you in touch with that individual and team.
Okay. The next question, is there a preferred type of vendor or business you're looking for? Example, food and beverage, travel gear, service oriented. I'll start with that one. The answer is we're looking for all of those. So throughout the airport, as there is today, and there will be in the future, there will be different types of business in the airport. There will be food and beverage. There will be retail sales as well, and they'll be situated throughout this new terminal. So when we talk about releasing the request for proposals, there'll be different spots in this new terminal, and some of them will be specifically for food and beverage, but it'll be a combination, food and beverage here, retail here, those types of things. So that's, yes, we're looking for all of those would be the answer I would give. Is that correct?
Yes, you are correct.
Okay, the next question, how many total ACDBE vendor spaces are available? It's a tough one to answer. There's not a specific number.
Correct. There's not a specific number. It's the prompt concessionaires will look to the ACDBE firms to partner with them to reach that 20% that Christine mentioned earlier, that the new T1 might have as a commitment. So it's to their benefit to reach the 20 or to exceed the 20 to make their package more appealing to us.
Okay. All right. The next one, we are a local small business food and beverage business. Does the airport evenly distribute between large corporate chains and small business vendors? I guess I'll start with that one. We want a mix. I think if you've been in Terminal 2, we have a mix of national vendors and we have local vendors there as well. One of the themes of the design of this new T1 is the San Diego experience. And part of that is having local businesses participate in that. So we're looking for a mix of both because there also is part of the traveling public that wants that reliable national brand, and that's all they're looking for. And other people want the local experience. So we're looking for both, and we're going to try and distribute both throughout the Terminal 1. Anything you want to add to that?
That was perfect.
All right. Okay, this one's for you, Christine. Can you elaborate on the comment? We did want to know that as well on what you mentioned. If we don't have those taxes because we are new. Did want to know that. So I guess the question is, if they're, I'm assuming they're a newer business and don't have either tax returns for the business or haven't been in business that long, what do they need to do? I think that's the question.
I think so. So if they don't have, well, the only time that they would have separate tax returns is if they incorporate or they create an LLC. So if they're doing a sole ownership, it would be incorporated into their personal taxes. And so if they're new, they would be providing us their personal taxes for the last 3 years. And if they are incorporated and they've only been in business for 6 months, then they would still provide me with their personal taxes.
Okay. All right. Hopefully, Letitia, that answered your question. Miguel is asking for the name of the asset manager. So we have numerous asset managers here, and they all have different areas of responsibility. So it would depend on, what you're looking to do, what service you provide. And so if you let us know what that is, we can put you in touch with the right person. And what is the response time window for the concessions RFP? I believe right now, after it's issued, we are anticipating a 90-day turnaround. Is that correct?
That's what we're looking at.
Yes.
In
Okay.
the window to give ample time.
All right. That is all the questions that I see. If you have any more questions, we'll give you a minute to put those in. As you see on this last slide, the three of us, our phone number and email is there. If we didn't answer your question correctly, feel free to reach out to any of us and we'll get you the answers that you're seeking. Or if you didn't want to put a question up in the chat, but you still have a question, feel free to reach out to us as well.
And if you were unable to attend any of our previous past 3 months new Terminal 1 concession outreach events that covers and details all the packages, you can access that on our small business development landing page here at sand.org/small business. And we also have a standalone new T1.com website with everything on there too. So that's a centralized spot for everything new T1 related. So NEWT1.com. So I recommend that you take a look at that and you'll be able to see what will be in the RFP advertisements.
And it shows like the floor plan and it color codes what's a restaurant, what's a retail, those types of things. So you can see what the plan is there as well. So, all right, I don't see any more questions. If Maria or Christine, if you don't have anything if you'd like to add anything, if not, we'd like to thank all of you for your participation and being here today. And again, feel free to reach out with any questions you have.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you for joining us today. See you next time.